In today's lesson, we will create an electromagnet to teach students grade 3 through 5 science and engineering. My name is Matthew Duhadway, and I'll be walking you through this lesson plan. Let's create excitement for today's lesson by showing students a regular nail. Demonstrate that nail does not have magnetic properties. Display magnetic attraction using a bar magnet and tell students they will give the regular nail magnetic properties by creating an electromagnetic field around the nail using a rubber band, copper wire. Ask students if they can guess the last item. Remind students they will be creating an electromagnetic field. Yes, we will need electricity. Students will do an activity to introduce them to the link between electricity and magnetism. They then test variables that they believe may affect the strength of electromagnets. At the end of this activity, students will be able to identify the components and properties of an electromagnet, describe ways to strengthen the magnetic field, compare the electromagnet to the bar magnet, identify practical uses for electromagnets. Next generation science standards addressed in this lesson will include asking questions to determine cause and effect relationships of electro or magnetic interactions between two objects not in contact with each other. And another will be to define a simple design program that can be solved by applying scientific ideas about magnets. For the lesson, each pair of students will need paper clips, copper wire, a battery, rubber band, and nail, and a magnet. Students will wrap the copper wire around the nail. Instruct students to leave about half of the wire unwrapped. Later on, we will experiment with how different levels of connectivity affect the electromagnetic field. Now that we have created a coil around the nail with the copper wire, we will want to connect it to the battery. Wrap the rubber band around the battery and use it to secure the wires on each end of the battery. When the wire is secure, ask students to try and pick up the paper clips with a nail. Instruct students to remove the electric connection after testing. To test a larger battery, ask the student pairs to connect the larger battery to the wire and nail. Ask if they record how many paper clips the electromagnet can pick up with the larger battery. Remind students to remove the wires from the battery by removing the rubber band. Now that we have tested different battery sizes, let's test the connectivity to see if we can create a stronger magnetic field. Have students wrap the rest of the wire around the nail. Now let's connect the smaller battery. Have students record on the assessment worksheet how many paper clips the tighter coil picks up with the smaller battery. Have students disconnect the smaller battery and connect the larger battery with the tighter coil. How many paper clips can the larger battery pick up with the tighter coil? Have students record this on the assessment worksheet. Remind students to remove the wires from the battery by removing the rubber band. Instruct the class to test the poles of the bar magnet using the compass. Now have the students test the compass on the electromagnet. Does the electromagnet have poles like the bar magnet? Yes! This lesson plan was created by me, Matthew Duhadway. Be sure to wrap up the lessons by discussing common devices that use electromagnetism, like speakers, telephones, computers, household appliances, MRI machines, and more. I hope you found this lesson plan helpful in teaching students about the magic of electromagnetism.